And one of the guys that was working for them in some capacity, I don't really know what his role was, but he tapped me on the shoulder and he pointed at Derek and he said, he's the biggest celebrity here.
How about that, buddy?
He's speechless.
I could resist.
And then he put the mic in front of Derek and Derek said, Big Texas!
I know. I'm good. Just wait to see me wrestle. Without Derek Becker, there's no Derek Becker.
That is
That's
true.
profound. Where I think Down syndrome awareness also is super important is in the community. Why is Down syndrome representation important?
You know, you want to see people like you in the whatever, in the media, in your community, in your school, in your church, in your whatever. When you see people like you or families like you feel more included. And everybody just wants to be loved. Everybody just wants to be included, you know.
Welcome to Bakers Bantering. It's a good day on Tuesday evening.
It is a good day. Today's a beautiful day.
It was stunning out.
I know, it's
Yeah.
like our little taste of fall.
I love the fall.
I know. I wish it lasted longer.
Yep.
Same. It
All
was
right.
super hot at the farm.
Was it?
A couple
was.
weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. But where it wasn't hot
Toast.
was at the raceway.
That is
I know.
true. That was super cool.
It was a great day.
It was cool for sure. The cars are super damn loud.
Oh my God,
They
they're
are
so
so
loud.
loud.
God.
So a couple months ago, we had Katie's friend David from high school on. He's done some amateur wrestling. He's done some
Yep.
wrestling school, but his full-time job, he's actually a very talented graphic designer.
Really, really talented young
really?
man.
Very talented.
He showed us some of his work. It was super impressive.
And he
I
works
know.
for NHRA, which is the National Hot Rod Association. And they are based out of Indianapolis. And so he told us the next time they were going
Well,
to be...
that's funny because Royal
Well,
Rumble
Rumble's in
is
Indianapolis this
in
year.
Indianapolis this year.
Oh my God, you're so predictable. Get your fingers out of your socks, boy.
I love the song. I get you do it.
All right. So he told us when he was in town and on the podcast recently that he would, when was it? That must have been Memorial Day. It was Memorial Day. That he would let us know when they were in St. Louis next. And so he reached out and let us know that they would be in St. Louis this past weekend. And we went over to the Worldwide Technology Raceway. And we all 5 bakers experienced our first drag race show, and it was something.
It was super cool. It was also very loud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, so loud.
Oh my.
Thank goodness we brought Derek's protective headgear, which I actually bought for him after our very first WWE event. We went to WrestleMania in Dallas in 2022, and we sat within a toss of the fireworks.
Pyrotechnics. Hey,
And
Jared.
I
It
did.
was unbelievably loud. And
It was super loud during Jey Uso's entrance last night on Raw. That has been literally incredible.
yeah, well, it was really loud at WrestleMania in Dallas. So I bought these headphones or these earphones, whatever you want to call them, for Derek, thinking that maybe he would wear them at WWE events.
Nope. Not going to happen.
No, he does not do that.
Because I love the pyro.
Yep.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
But this noise at the hot rod race
you had to have them.
was literally deafening. Like it was, I had the things you stick in your ear and I still put my hands over my ears.
Oh, yeah.
And it was still super loud. So
It was so loud, like it shook every
like your
cell
the
in
cell
your
of your
body or-
person. Yeah, it
like
was crazy.
you could like feel it in your chest, like every
It's
time.
horrible for sure.
And when you weren't paying attention, it was like brutal. Because I mean, we had our ears in the whole time, But when you're watching it, you wouldn't be caught by surprise when they would get started. But when you weren't directly watching it, if you would get caught by surprise, it was like even worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was
so fun.
It was very fun. It was very cool. I was very shocked, though, to be honest, to see how many people were electing not to wearing the protective ear gear because, like, they are literally losing years off their hearing.
I would think so.
Because that is just, it is
and
so loud.
I asked David, because some of the guys and gals who were actually like right there, like the crew, right? The mechanic crew, I guess. It didn't appear that they had headgear on. That doesn't mean they didn't have little plugs in or whatever, but I'm like, man, they got to have something in down there, right? And he said, yeah, I'm sure they have better ones than we do. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
you'd hope so.
it was so cool. Those cars went so fast.
So fast. So we
Like
did
over 300 miles an hour.
some of them over 350 miles per hour.
Yeah, like a quarter mile in less than 4 seconds. It was insane.
Had some bikes there too.
There were some bikes and funny cars, and then the long cars. I guess those are the hot rods.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite. The hot rods.
Yes. So we did start off the day. We parked, and then David and Allie came and picked us up on golf carts, and they brought us back.
The best part.
Yeah, Derek, of course, loved the golf cart ride. And they brought us back to the media room, and that's where we got all set up, and we got our protective headgear on. And then we took a little tour before the races started, and we got to meet some of the drivers, which was pretty cool. So first we met Matt Hagan.
Shout out to Matt Hagan. What's up, my guy?
He drives one of the funny cars, and him and Derek did a little bicep competition to see who had bigger biceps. Who had bigger biceps, Derek? You or him?
Matt.
Me.
I knew that was coming. Matt. Yeah, I'm going to go with Matt. And then we met, well, it's just facts. And then we met Clay Milliken.
Yeah, same last name. I'm like,
that?
last name.
Not the same spelling.
Didn't spell it the same.
But same last name.
Great man.
And he
was very nice.
Actually has his own YouTube channel. And so we were vlogging him and he was vlogging us. So that was kind of funny. And they were the Top Fuel Dragsters. That's what those cars were called.
Oh, okay.
That Clay
hot rods.
and Justin drove. And then we also met Justin Ashley, and he was with the Skag group, and he follows us on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right.
He was so nice.
So he recognized us, which was pretty cool. And he actually took us into the Skag truck, which has all of the parts in there. And it's just like drawers and drawers and drawers of stuff for the cars. And is there a reason you're holding my foot? Why are you doing that?
Is your foot touching your knee?
Well, sometimes I got to kick him.
Yeah. Oh, you do that on purpose.
I do. Sometimes when he's not moving on from a topic during the weekly wrestling wrap-up, he gets a nudge in the leg.
Put your foot down.
That's our secret cue. I did tell Justin we should put Derek in the tire and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that would be funny, but we didn't do it.
I don't want to do it anyway.
But the tires were stacked on top of each other. There was 2 of them, and they were almost as tall as Derek. That's
they
how
were huge.
Thick
They were
these tires were, like easily
I
2.5 foot thick each.
Yeah, they were huge. The back tires.
They were massive. So, but that was pretty cool to go up in there and see like where all the people work and all the things they do. And
yeah, they told us they rebuild the engine after every run. Wow. Every run. And so the winners of the, what did you call them? Not the hot rods.
The dragsters?
The dragsters may rebuild in a weekend, 8 to 10 times.
Wow. Did they say why they do that?
Just because the parts can't handle it, I guess. They have to disassemble and reassemble everything.
Interesting. Yeah.
And we saw a couple of cars that, were shooting fire out the back and some other stuff.
Well,
it was crazy. It was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I literally couldn't wipe the smile off my face. It was just just fun. It was just so much fun. And all the people there, everybody was having a good time. And It just had this carnival-like atmosphere, and it was just a lot of fun.
Well, it was kind of like a carnival. Like there was there was a main attraction, and then there was, food trucks and tents, and you could walk around and see the cars, and the drivers were out meeting people and saying hello to the fans and stuff. It was very cool.
It was, actually.
So and then Justin did hook us up.
He gave us the major hookup.
He had David go talk to whoever he needed to talk to get us VIP passes into the Skag tent, which is where they had food. And the food was very good.
It's delicious.
It was.
I think
that Mexican was amazing.
It was.
Well, so they have
it's like a taco bar, kind of.
Yeah, they have a big deal with Mission, like the tortilla brand. Mm-hmm. And so they had a taco bar for lunch and Mission tortillas. And it was so good.
Oh my gosh. The street corn they had. I told Jenna, like, the street corn is so good. She didn't get enough.
Yes, I didn't get enough. I did get it though. I just put it on my taco.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. I don't like it when my food touches. I have texture sensitivity issues.
I'm shocked.
I've always had a problem with it. I'm better about it now than I used to be, but I have a hard time when you have one plate and you're supposed to fill it with a lot of things like that. I struggle with that.
Jenna.
And I had every intentions of like getting a little bit on one plate and then going back for a second plate so I could like try everything, because I wasn't really getting that much on my one plate because I don't like everything to touch. And then I got my one plate and Mom points out this sign to me that's like, you can't go back for a second plate. And I'm like, well, had I known that, I would have gotten a lot more food.
Like, we're guests in this house. Like, there's a sign that says, please, one time through. Because I'm sure they just want everybody, they want everybody to have a chance to eat.
So I did luckily put it on my taco, but I would have gotten more had I realized what was going on fully.
Yummy.
But
Speaking
it
of
was
that,
really, really good regardless.
We had some of the corn at Tres Reyes last night on Manchester Road.
I like Tres
Man,
Reyes.
have you ever been there? Do you guys like street corn?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got it. I mean, I have always in the past felt like Mission Taco had the best street corn.
Okay.
I think Tres Reyes, which is on Manchester, kind of in De Pere.
Okay.
I think it's better.
Okay,
Shout
so
out.
Tres Reyes
Incredible.
means Three Kings.
Yeah. And it's the same owner of
sister restaurants with Three Kings.
Three Kings.
You know Three Kings?
That was in the Loop, wasn't for a while?
There was.
There's one on Manchester.
There was a fire at the one in the Loop.
Gotcha.
There was a fire at the one in the Loop.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
got Captain Crunch shrimp there at the Three Kings on Manchester.
But I would say there's another one on Manchester. But
Captain Crunch breaded shrimp.
Now we're going off on a tangent.
Delicious.
But did you know
Sorry. Anyway.
Mission Taco is changing its name? It got sued.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they have to change their name.
Okay.
Why did they get sued?
Well, now I don't remember. I'm forgetting pieces of the story, but I knew there was a lawsuit in place and it was like pending, but then I heard that they're changing their name because of the lawsuit. And who knows? I don't know why. But
Interesting.
I know they're
Anyway.
changing their name.
But by the way,
Okay, back to racing.
that food touching fee will happen at Festibility and also on Raw and NXT.
I know.
Monday and Tuesday.
It's something I struggle with.
I'm kind of like that too. I don't really like my food to touch, and I really don't like it when there's a lot of juice involved with something and it runs on your plate. So
Yeah.
she probably got that crazy shit from me.
Yeah. I try.
Sorry.
I've gotten better, but it's not the best.
I don't mind.
You don't care. Pile it on.
I don't mind that at all. Like,
I know you'd put cantaloupe in your ketchup. You used to make me when you were a
Cantaloupe.
kid. You did. You would drag your cantaloupe through the ketchup, and it made me kind of ill. Gross. But anyway,
Okay, I was just not talking about cantaloupe. I was talking about chicken tenders and fries. That is fine.
yeah,
I don't
those are
mind if
fine.
two dry foods are touching. The problem is it was tacos, so it was like a lot of liquids.
Yeah.
There was a lot of liquids going on.
But my pet peeve
Pet peeve.
is then when you put barbecue sauce touching the fries and chicken tenders. That is
You're a dipper.
not.
That's not cool.
I'd agree with Jen on this. I do not like my barbecue sauce touching my food. I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I go to events like Raw, NXT, or Connor's game or SmackDown, I like the tub of barbecue sauce on the side.
I get it.
Instead on.
I don't like. Some people put the
Chicken
ketchup all over their
fries
French
and-
fries. No.
Gross. Okay.
I want a dip.
I've never
Me
done
too.
that.
Okay, now we're making me hungry. Let's move
Okay,
on.
stop.
So
Sorry.
after lunch, that's when the racing was getting ready to start. And at this point, the bikes actually had started. The bikes don't go nearly as fast as the cars, and they're also not nearly as loud.
Yeah.
But the bikes,
But they still were going over 200 miles an hour.
were they?
I think so.
I thought we saw one that went like 196 or something.
Oh,
like
I
that.
think they were going over 200.
maybe
But
some of them did.
yeah.
The one that we paid attention to went 196, I think. But the one that I paid attention to. But so David takes us back over to the media area, and then we were actually able to go up to this viewing
Rooftop.
area.
It was the rooftop of the media tower.
stand. Yeah.
We
And
were
so-
right over the start. It was
Yeah.
so cool.
So on one side of the
It
roof, you
was.
can see the cars lining up to come into the race. And then on the other side is the raceway. And so it was a really cool view. And it was a cool view of the race. It was a cool view of St. Louis. It was just like very cool to be up there. But when you're up there and the cars would start, it was like
The smell.
the smell, yeah, but it was the smoke.
Yeah, the soot.
Like my eyes would immediately start watering as soon as they'd start the cars. And like I was literally
Trust me.
like closing my eyes and holding them shut, or I was crying, one of the two. And then we're up there and like Katie and I were both wearing kind of light colored shirts. And I'm like looking down and I'm looking at all of our faces. There is literally dirt on
Yeah.
our faces.
there was
from
soot on all our faces.
how much just like
it was
stuff
kicking up.
It was, yeah. I
Stuff.
came home and Katie and I immediately washed our faces. I was like, Katie was like, I was planning to wear this makeup tonight. And I was like, well, you are not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because now you have black stuff all over your face.
Yeah.
And so, but it was very cool to watch it from up there. We did get to watch Clay and Justin. Clay did win. Justin lost by less than 0.01.
It was like 0.01 seconds.
But he was very
And
close.
it looked like he was leading the whole way. I was shocked because I actually thought he had won. But
I thought he had won too until it flashed up on the screen, and then I was like, "Oh well, pardon me, dang, he didn't win." But it was
Dad
very
looked him
cool.
up though, and he's like one of the top drivers and for the organization. And he said,
I think he told us how many. I think he told us they raced like at least 21 races or something like that a year, all over the country. A lot of them, a lot of things happen near Indianapolis, which is where their like
Based.
headquarters and bases. And he said most of the drivers live in Indianapolis. But yeah, it was
Royal
very
Rumble
cool.
is gonna be there.
we know.
It was interesting. So, they go so fast and it's a quarter mile that they're racing, but obviously the track's a lot longer because they got to like stop. Well, when they get to the end, they shoot out these parachute like things, which I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, what just happened? And then I'm like, oh, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
That's because they need to stop.
They need to slow down.
But there was a few that like backfired and like didn't make it. I mean, they made it, but like not as quickly as their opponent, and like shot out fire. And like it was, I mean, it clearly takes a team of people to get each of these cars like up to that speed in that short amount of time. And
Those Street Profits, they want the
street race,
smoke.
they want the smoke.
Oh,
Right.
well, they would like that Hot Rod Association.
They would. So it was.
They got the smoke.
We want the smoke.
Before,
We want the smoke. We want the smoke. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1.
We want the smoke.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Okay, kick
We
him.
want
Okay.
the smoke.
You're done.
no more
You're
smoke.
done.
Okay. So it was
Don't kick
interesting.
me.
Before they would actually race, they would both like, I guess it was almost like a test of their like punch.
Right.
So they would both like come up and they'd like hit it like they were going, and it was as loud as when they really went. And I think it was like to kind of see like what if they need to make any adjustments or something. I don't know. But it was interesting because there was multiple times where they would do that and then they would be tweaking things on the car before they would actually like start the race.
And they would back up and then they would rub down the tires.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
They
the
had
tires
these like
got hot in that little,
They had these like special gloves on, and there'd be two guys out there just like patting the tires down. It was
so
wild.
interesting.
Like, there was just so much.
It was very cool.
There was a lot to take in, and like just I felt like I was learning so much about something we've never really experienced before. So yeah, we got to do that. That was very cool. And then when we left, David was like, "We got to go. There's actually going to be some wrestling."
Can you
and
believe
we're
it?
like, of course there is. So we're headed out, and Mom and Dad had to leave early. So Katie and Derek and I were going to stay and watch some wrestling. And we're on the way over to the wrestling, and we're vlogging. So there's going to be some vlog footage coming your way, Jack. But we're walking,
More
and
vlogs coming your way.
I'm watching ahead of me, but I'm also watching Derek and Dad behind me, and Mom and I at the same time, I see this flag, and Mom just beelines for this flag. It was like the perfect flag for Derek. And she picks up the flag, and I'm like kind of eyeing Derek behind me, wondering if he's going to notice the flag too. And then next thing you know, Derek's beelining for the flag, and he's picking up another flag, and I'm like, "Hey, Derek, look what Mom's buying."
Yeah, I was already in there paying for it by the time he got there.
Yeah, and he was so excited.
It was the perfect flag, wasn't it?
It was a checkered flag. It had the
Yep.
worldwide logo on it.
It's very cool.
He was very excited about it. Dad was like, "It's already got the perfect stick, Derek. Look at that." So I don't know if you know this about Derek's flags, but Dad actually cuts those sticks special for him.
Oh, really?
To
So
get him to the right length.
And if it comes with like a plastic stick or something, Derek will not use it.
We don't like those.
He needs
know.
it to be his wooden dowel rod. And when he breaks them, or if he wears them down, or if they start to splinter, Dad and Derek will go to like Home Depot and they'll buy a new wooden dowel rod, and Dad will come home and he cuts them to be the perfect length that Derek likes. And they've got their system, and Dad takes care of Derek and his flag sticks, doesn't he?
He does.
He does. So then we went over to the wrestling ring, and Derek got to meet the commissioner of the SICW. I meant to look this up. You want to look that up for me?
Southern Illinois
Championship Wrestling, I think, maybe.
SICW?
SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, I believe. But Derek got to meet the commissioner, and then you also got to meet the mayor of Madison County.
Yeah, he was cool, actually.
He was cool. You got to sit in the golf cart with him. We took some pictures. And then you met Big Texas.
He was a big man.
Big Texas was a very big man. And Big Texas was the champion.
Tough man.
He had the championship belt. He let Derek hold it. He actually put it on you.
He did.
What'd you think about that?
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Get ready, because I'm going to have the NXT championship.
So you say.
Yeah. So then it was kind of funny because when we went over to the wrestling.
What was your plan anyway, Mom?
I feel as though the wrestling demographic and the car racing demographic overlap, hence why there's wrestling at the car racing. But when we walked over to the wrestling ring, all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, there's Derek. Oh, there's Baker Banter." And that was kind of funny. And the wrestlers actually all knew who Derek was, which was pretty hilarious. And one of the guys that was working for them in some capacity, I don't really know what his role was, but he tapped me on the shoulder and he pointed at Derek and he said, "He's the biggest celebrity here."
How about that, buddy?
He's speechless.
I could resist.
I spoke to one of the gentlemen. He was the referee.
Yeah.
And there is, I guess, a wrestling hall of fame in St. Louis, and they do some big deal every May.
I don't know.
I told him to connect with you.
I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
maybe he'll connect with us.
Well, so then the commissioner.
Just wait till UFC come in town.
The commissioner did give you a shirt that all the wrestlers had signed.
Yep. I meant to bring that down so we could show it off, and I forgot. It's in my bedroom.
Oh, that's okay. It was a cool shirt. But so then mom and dad had to leave, but Katie and Derek and I did watch the first match, and they actually let Derek into the ringside, and Derek and I sat in the ringside during the match, and well, before the match they let you into the ring.
I know.
You got it was your first time in a wrestling ring.
Well, that was first time. Should just wait till Monday Night Raw gets here.
I know. So how did it feel to stand inside a real wrestling ring?
I mean,
He's speechless again.
It was awesome.
man, it's super hard to keep it in my straight face and talk about the ring.
Tell me how you felt.
It was magic.
Aww,
Magic. That's so sweet.
It was magic. That was my first time, and that's really awesome. I really want to do it again. Do that again sometime this week. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a Raw, so hopefully that works out for me.
Well, good luck with that. I don't know about that, but I appreciate your excitement, enthusiasm. That's a good word. But
But I am so excited to be in that ring. I am blessed of it.
very blessed.
Very blessed of it. We'll see if it's gonna work out for Raw or NXT. Had to doubt it, but
At least he knows.
At least he knows. I'm glad you're
Right.
based in reality. Kind of doubt it.
Hopeful but doubtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But besides all that, I know somebody is actually a girlfriend to Ricochet.
Samantha Irvin.
Yeah, Samantha Irvin. I might talk to her, say hi to her, talk to her.
Okay. We got to move off WWE because that's not what we're here to talk about. So they let him in the ring. The
Might let me in.
the referee and the announcer went with him, and they were raising his hand up and giving him the whole special treatment. It was pretty cool. And then we sat ringside during the first match, which was Big Texas versus, don't remember that guy's name, but I'll tell you what, he was mean. He had a mask on.
The other guy,
he was not nice. He was yelling at the crowd. The crowd was booing him. He was most certainly the heel. And then Big Texas came out. He got into the ring. He held up his belt. And when it was time to put his belt away to go ahead and wrestle, he handed his belt to the guy outside of the ring and pointed at Derek and said, "Give that to him."
Wow.
It was cool.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
So Derek and I sat ringside, and the whole time during the first match, Derek got to hold the championship belt for Big Texas, which was pretty awesome. And then what happened during the match?
I rang the bell.
Oh yeah, he did. He rang the bell to start the match.
Wow.
Okay,
Derek.
I gotta say, Derek, I'm gonna give you a little criticism here. They explained it to you very clearly that you were to ring the bell 3 times very firmly. Good, solid rings. Your rings were pathetic.
Oh, Jenna.
They were so bad.
Oh.
Like he watches wrestling. He knows what it's like, the ding, 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 like get the thing started, you know? And he's like, dee, dee, dee.
Were you being shy?
And I'm like, bro, they made him do it again because he did not do well enough the first
Well,
time.
there'll be vlog footage. We can all vote on this later, boys.
And they were like, no. Give it another go. Get another go. And he did a little better the second time, but like they hit that thing. Boom, boom, boom. And you were like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, seriously? This is your chance? And that's the best you're going to give it?
Next time. Right?
First of all, I am not a bell keeper.
You're not a bell keeper.
I'm not a bell
Ringer.
keeper.
I will say, typically when we're going to do something like that, we'll have some conversations ahead of time and we'll prep you for the assignment. And we didn't know what we were walking into, so we didn't have time to like give you solid prep to make or to make sure you knew what you were doing. And it was a bit overwhelming. There was a lot of people going by and a lot of people yelling and a lot of excitement, all the things. So like I'll give you that. But as a wrestling fan, I just had a little bit more faith in you that you could like give that bell a go. And you didn't do that. That's not what you did. And if Katie were here, she'd back me up.
Well, there's video evidence, so I'm going to weigh in later.
But what he did do, which I actually didn't even write the bell ringing down because that's how irrelevant it was in my brain. I forgot about it. What I was actually talking about was after the bell ringing and after the match, what happened at the end of the match? What did you get to do? Which you did. You did rise to the occasion during this moment. What did you do?
Oh, the best part did happen for sure. I gave Big Texas his championship.
What did you do with the microphone?
Oh yeah, I was going to talk on the mic.
Somebody gave you a mic
Whoa,
during
whoa,
a
whoa,
wrestling
whoa, whoa.
match. That is so brave.
Whoa. He never held a microphone.
Okay.
And that's a good thing. But the announcer came over to Derek and he said, and the winner of this match, the reigning, defending, still the undefeated, blah, 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 whatever, champion. And then he put the mic in front of Derek and Derek said, Big Texas!
Oh, nice.
I know. I'm good. Just wait to see me wrestle.
So he did. He actually got to say Big Texas's name twice into the microphone, which was very, very cool. Unfortunately, somehow I missed it both times. Not on the vlog. The vlog definitely has it, but my up and down TikTok, Instagram, I don't know what happened. It just like I started the video and I thought I started the video and then it turns out I didn't. So I'm gonna have to pull that footage.
When we'll go back during that vlog.
I have it on the vlog footage for sure. For
get
sure.
it, and that way you will post it on TikTok and Instagram. Okay.
Yeah. But it was very, very cool. It was a fun experience. Shout out to David and Allie. We appreciate the invite. We had a great time. Shout out to the SICW wrestling organization. They treated you like a king of wrestling. And that was very cool. Your first in-ring experience, your first ringside experience. The wrestlers were so close to me that afterward, Katie was like, did you get sweat on you? And I was like, no, luckily I didn't, thank goodness.
Good one, Katie.
But at one point they were like right there and I was like, oh God, please don't touch me. They were big, sweaty men, both of them. And I was like, no, I don't want to be part of this. I'm just here to record my brother.
Maybe as Big Texas put his opponent right on you.
No, I wouldn't like that. That was not what I wanted. But it was very fun. Okay, so we have two more things that I want to talk about. And then I want to talk a little bit about Down Syndrome Awareness Month with you because this is October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. We are recording this episode on October 1st. So
don't forget breast cancer awareness.
Yes, that is correct. October's a lot of months. There's a lot of things that go on in October. Must be because it's got good weather. I don't know. Okay, but before we get to that, I do want to say
spooky season is coming up.
Oh, spooky season is here.
It's here.
It's been spooky season. As far as I'm concerned, spooky season starts on September 1st. I don't think everybody
abides by that.
Yeah, subscribes to that.
Well, it is October 1st.
But I do.
And
I think spooky season deserves more than 1 month.
Yeah, it's
Agreed.
fine.
So, and it's like, okay, by the time September rolls around, we literally haven't celebrated anything in months.
Yeah, and well, you're
you're
tired of summer.
And my decorations have been the same since like March.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get this out of here and let's see some pumpkins. Okay. So, We did restart the football pool.
Yes.
I don't know that Derek even knows which team he had this week. Do you know what team you had?
I do not.
I told you, but you might have forgotten.
Well, we had the 49ers because I actually had them too. And they
49ers.
won. Good for us. Who did you have?
I had the Texans, and I won. And Katie had the Arizona Cardinals.
And she lost.
Wah, wah, wah. Katie's out
Katie's out. It's for the second time.
for the second time.
Yeah. Who did the Lions win last night?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, Chris is still in then.
Yep.
Because he had the Lions, and the Chiefs are still 4-0,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. And Chris's cousin actually went to the Eagles game, which was down in Tampa Bay last weekend. They did lose, but
That was hot down there, from what I understand.
I thought they weren't going to make it because of the hurricane, but
yeah.
Tampa was not on that
hurricane
side
is
of the
something
state.
else. That North Carolina. Have you
Oh,
talked to
yeah.
Phil, by the way?
Speaking
Is he
of
okay?
that.
I've talked to Phil. I
Speaking
haven't talked to him
of
about
that.
the
Speaking of that.
hurricane, but I don't think it hit Charlotte.
I don't know that it did either.
It really hit the western side of the state.
Speaking of that,
Brutal.
awful.
I did make some friends on TikTok Live. I know their names. They know me. And their names are Isabel and don't know the other girl's name is.
Okay, so I guess you didn't make very good friends with them. You forgot their names.
But anyway,
already.
Isabel and her friend.
Isabel and Liz.
Okay.
They suffered a big hurricane down there, and some houses got flooded and all that jazz. And I told my friends on TikTok Live, are they okay? Then they told me they were okay. So
You're glad they're okay.
Did their prayers for me.
Yeah, I hope they get some help down there because it really did a number on a good part of the country down there, and it's brutal. But
hurricanes are not fun.
no, they are not fun. We do have something to celebrate.
Anyway, what we're gonna celebrate?
Well, it's officially been 1 year since you started something. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
What did I say?
You have officially been using your CPAP for 1 year.
Wow. Woohoo!
So
Yeah.
therefore,
1
it's
year.
been about 1 year since Derek took scissors to the CPAP.
Okay, let's not go there.
Did you ever hear this story?
Yeah.
Derek was...
You know, I really don't want the insurance company to hear that, okay?
Oh, they're not listening. Nobody's listening. And nobody from the insurance company is listening.
Probably not, but...
No, you didn't do that. It was a mistake. We just got confused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I did want to say I think that you have come really far with the CPAP. I think it's really awesome how much you have improved, how much you have accepted that it really does help you, and I think your sleeping has probably improved. I know that you don't fall asleep on us as often as you used to.
Ding, 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 ding.
Which I think is a direct correlation to your CPAP use. I will say, I think Derek does
Well,
a much better job using the CPAP when he is traveling.
I know. I don't understand that.
I know exactly why. It's because he's forced to go to bed.
Yeah, that's what
Nobody
your dad says.
forces him to go to bed here.
That's because I'm in bed. I tell him to go to bed, but guess what? I say go to bed, and then I go to bed.
I know, but when we're all sharing a hotel room, he does not have a choice. We are like, no, turn that shit off and go to bed. And when he's in his room,
Eyebrows.
when he's in his room, he is told to go to bed and he does not listen.
Probably all valid.
false.
No, I am not wrong.
False.
I could
False.
get a like a little camera up in the corner, like we used to watch Mimi Baker.
Yeah, get a little camera to
No,
prove
that
that
is
Jenna's
forbidden.
right.
That is forbidden. Well, I would only turn it on after I said go to bed, just to see how long
And then
it
she'd
takes.
check it in the morning and say, I told you to go to bed at 10:45, and turns out you were still awake at 2:45.
First of all, I'm still a teenager.
You are not still a teenager. You are 27
Lies!
years old.
Lies!
You are 27 years old,
You're
Derek
not
Baker.
a teenager. You're a 20
You're
something.
in your 20s. What are you going to go straight from being a teenager to being 30?
I'm still a teenager.
No, you're
I
not.
do the teen thing.
At
Rely on
heart.
yourself. I'm a teen.
Okay.
Sometimes I get in bed late. Sometimes I
All
don't.
the time. All the time. I know it. I know it.
Well, last
I don't
night
even
I
sleep
got
in this
bed
house. I don't even live here, and I am certain of it. Do you? How late do you stay up? 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? I know it's probably like 3.
Late. No.
Are you lying?
Okay.
Santa's watching.
First of all, don't ever dare bring up Santa. And secondly, I do my own thing. Nobody else. I don't tell mom what to do. I don't tell dad what to do. I don't tell Kate what to do.
And I don't listen to them when they tell me what to do.
I have to tell myself what to do and make sure I get in bed for mom. And sometimes I make it on time, like 10 or 11. Yes, I've done that.
But most of the time.
Sometimes it being bed late, like only 12 o'clock in the part of the morning.
And most of the time, what time is it really? Be honest.
Shut up.
Okay.
Be honest.
You don't know Santa. Move on.
I'm telling you, it's like easily 2 a.m. every night. I know it.
It's not 2 a.m. Who you think you are? Who you think you are? Are you Rhea Ripley? That's like who you are? Are you Rhea Ripley? Are you?
Are you mad?
You're pissing me off.
I've
I
got
Stop
tell.
acting like Rhea.
Okay. We're moving on. But my theory's right. And I think the anger
You're
is proving
wrong.
my point.
And
Quit poking the bear, Jenna.
everybody thinks they want to discipline me.
No, we're not trying to discipline you. We're trying to help you get more sleep.
No. What they are saying is trying to discipline me. I don't care what they have to say about me.
Who's they? Who are you pointing at?
The TikTok. Remember how the TikTok people always used to comment, you need to discipline him. That's what he's talking about.
Oh.
Exactly. How about you do it to her?
Okay. Oh, they come at her too. Don't worry about
yeah,
that.
They do that plenty. Okay, so we'll move on from the time of bed that
Thank you.
choose to go to bed. But I would like you to answer this. What would you say to somebody?
Are you not gonna piss me off?
No. We're gonna move on. I said I would
Take
move
a deep
on.
breath.
Good.
Can you get your hand out of your socks, please?
I'd like to play with my sock. You cannot tell me what to do when I'm doing.
Okay, we need to get him a fidget toy.
Okay.
Okay. So,
You can be my fidget toy. You don't stop.
no, that's a weird thing to say. Okay, so when last year, this time, you were very hesitant about using the CPAP. You didn't want to do it. You got into a fight with Mark about it. That's your imaginary brother. You were not about the CPAP machine. It was a big problem at the beginning. And now you use it every single night, and you're very good at it, and you do a great job, and you sleep better. So what would you, Derek Baker, who has been using his CPAP machine for a year,
1 year.
say to previous Derek Baker or other people who are maybe scared to use a CPAP machine? What are your words of encouragement for using the CPAP machine, first timers?
Well, first of all, it's been one hell of a year with that CPAP for sure. 1 year, I cannot believe it. The worst memory, you know.
Are you proud of yourself? Yeah, we don't need to talk about this.
Let's not talk about that. So we'll move on from that.
Yeah, no, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Let's not get insurance involved. For sure.
Okay. So what would you say to first timers that are scared?
In a way, I think it's really awesome. Is 1 year for the CPAP. It's been a good year for it, and sometimes I do get in bed good time, like 10 or 11, maybe here and there for 12. Damn it, now it's trying to clock out to a clock. That's such a stupid, that's just a lie. in a way, it's not that scary. So if you guys think it's scary, don't think of it like that. But CPAP is your friend.
And it makes you feel better?
It makes you better in the morning.
Do you have better days?
And I have better days right now. So and especially today about the whole recovery, I guess.
Are you thankful for your CPAP now?
So it's been thankful having a CPAP in my life. So let's make it 2 years for it.
All right.
Sounds like he's accepting a CPAP
Award.
award.
On the behalf of CPAP users everywhere, I accept this award for my 1-year anniversary.
Well, it could be that for sure, but there's no 4th-year anniversary of watching wrestling. So.
Oh, right. Well, it's been more than 4 years, so you wouldn't get the 4th year. But
How many years I watch wrestling now?
Well, it's probably been 8 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
2016. So one more time, just what are your words of
my nights?
What are your words of encouragement for first timers? Just short and sweet, sum it up.
Well, if they are first timers, best of luck. CPAP is a friend, like I said. Just wait. Just wait. Having a good sleep, and you can be better in the morning.
Yeah, be better in the morning.
Cool. Okay, so today is October 1st. So I just wanted
The launch of the CW for NXT.
Oh, of course. How could I forget? But it is the first day of Down Syndrome Awareness Month.
It is, but before we hop to that,
Okay.
real quick,
Mm-hmm.
like Jenna said, today is October 1st, and tonight is NXT night, and the launch of the CW is tonight. I am so excited for that.
Okay, we already talked about wrestling, though.
Bigger question is, I can't wait for the future for the CW. We'll see who's gonna pace off on it. I can't wait for it. So
Okay,
so I just had a couple of questions about Down syndrome that I wanted to go through. I think that all three of us should answer these questions. I'm going to let you guys go first.
Okay.
Do you want to start or do you want Mom to start?
I'm gonna leave Mom.
Okay, ladies first. Okay, what does Down syndrome awareness mean to you, our family? Why is it important? That sort of thing.
The reality of the situation is that you are often thrust into the Down syndrome community, right? It is not, a community that you necessarily seek out, right? Like you can seek out the wrestling community or the hot rod association community or whatever. You're just you just kind of wake up one day and you have become a part of this community that wasn't necessarily a part of your plan. The thing that I would say about it is that the more awareness out there in the public on social media, that sort of thing, the less scary it would be for somebody who is thrust into this community, right? Yeah. When Derek was born 27 years ago, there wasn't social media.
That was the way before I got started watching wrestling.
That is true. There wasn't social media and there wasn't a lot of portrayals of people with Down syndrome in the world, whether it be, there was one guy, Corky, on Life Goes On in the 80s, I think, on TV, but that was really the only person with Down syndrome that was out there in the public eye. I do happen to have a cousin with Down syndrome, so it maybe wasn't as scary for me as maybe some other people in the same era. But I just think it's important for people to see that, a diagnosis of Down syndrome is not the end of the world. It's different than what you anticipated, but it's beautiful in itself. Like it's Derek is amazing. Derek is wonderful. I can't imagine us without him. We wouldn't be who we are without Derek in our world. And
I think wrestling feels the same way too.
Well, I'm sure they do.
Liv
So
Morgan,
it's just
Dominic, it goes on.
It's just neat for younger families who are thrust into this community to see examples of individuals with Down syndrome living these huge lives and being happy and bringing joy to everybody around them. And that's what I think is important.
See, you didn't need to prep that. Like I said, you just need to speak from the heart. Okay, what does Down syndrome awareness mean to you, Derek Baker?
Well, for me, it's life of the party, for sure. Down syndrome is great, for sure. Like Mom says, there will be no Derek Baker. There's no without Derek Baker. Derek Baker is part of the community of it, and I think it's very beautiful of it. And I think Derek Baker is growing up and having fun right now. And without Derek Baker, there's no Derek Baker.
That's true.
Profound.
But all the friends I made, all my siblings, like parents, brother, sister, or friends of outside world, like Patrick and Zach, like Haley and Kazra, especially Racing fans, for sure, like Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan, Rey Mysterio, Eagle Sky. List goes on for that. But Derek is a brave the world. He never met a stranger before, but he's the man to prove it. And that's the man to become the next NXT champion.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
let's let Jenny answer now.
The future self will say.
So
Okay.
I think I'm going to kind of play off what both of you said. Derek is correct. I don't know that he articulated it in the best way. He just, of course, made it about wrestling. But Derek and others with Down syndrome make this world a better place.
Yes.
And I think to kind of piggyback off what you said, you kind of focused on the families who are directly impacted by Down syndrome diagnosis, where I think Down syndrome awareness...
Wrestling always be the key.
That's the sum of your life right there. Where I think Down syndrome awareness also is super important is in the community, and people with Down syndrome being immersed in the community, in the classroom, in preschools, in the work environment, at the grocery store, at your favorite fast food restaurant, your favorite coffee shop,
wrestling
events, seeing people with Down syndrome in the community is
I can throw that out there. You're rocking for that one, Jen.
Seeing people with Down syndrome in the community makes such a positive impact on the lives of others. It helps open the minds of others. It allows others to learn how to be more accepting, learn how to treat people who are differently from them in the way they deserve to be treated. And I think that having months like Down syndrome awareness month, where it is highlighted and it's talked about in schools and it's talked about on social media more heavily, just allows that many more people to be exposed to Down syndrome and to people with Down syndrome and to people who are different from them. And it makes the world in general a more accepting and loving and fun place to be.
Yep. I agree.
Okay.
And she had time to prep that, by the way, boys, just saying.
I did not prep this, by the way. I wrote these two questions in the bathroom before we sat down for this podcast, just so you know. Okay.
Fair.
So, and between now and then, we've been having a lot of conversations, so I was not prepping those until in this moment. And I honestly based my answer off what the two of you said, because you kind of covered the family aspect. Derek said, I'm awesome. And I said, and
he is.
He is. And I said, and it impacts,
It
the
does. It
community
impacts
in a
everybody
good
he
way.
touches.
Yeah. And okay, so last one, and this is similar, but I also think it is a little bit different. But why is Down syndrome representation important?
Well, I mean, I think it's the same, it's kind of the same thing. You just, you want to see people like you in the whatever, in the media, in your community, in your school, in your church, in your whatever. When you see people like you or families like you, you feel more included, and everybody just wants to be loved. Everybody just wants to be included, you know.
What do you think? Why is it important to have people like Derek Baker on social media and on TV and in the public eye so other people can see people like Derek Baker with Down syndrome?
Well, I think it's very important to have for sure. I think Derek is lucky man for that, but he's a family man. He's a wrestling man. He's the version of that. But to me, I think you may put Dodgerism in the mix, but put Derek in there because he's the best he is. Like, he's a family man. He's making friends left and right. He never met a stranger, like I said before. And he's a big wrestling fan. I think that's great. I think everybody want to look forward to become Derek Baker. And it looks like that is true. He is Derek Baker for the reason, and he is Derek Baker for now because he's the star. A star on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, definitely on TV for sure. I mean, he did make his debut on Raw in 2019. Let's not forget about that, Jenna.
I could never forget
way
about
more
that.
important for that.
Right.
But I think Derek Baker definitely is important, like Dodgerism is exactly is to me. But Derek Baker is live in the party.
Well, so
He is a star. I just have to tell you. So I had my 40th high school reunion last weekend, which you're well aware of. I cannot tell you the number of my classmates that came up and said, "Did you bring Derek?" I'm like, no.
Derek did not graduate 40 years ago.
They didn't really give a shit to see me, but did you bring your cool son? So
no, I think to kind of sum up what I think you said is, and I think this is a really great point that you make, Derek. Down syndrome is one piece of the puzzle that makes up Derek Allen Baker.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, have family man, have friends he made, and have celebrity, and have wrestling
exactly.
fans.
And you just happen to have Down syndrome.
I know. That's why whenever
That's the man I want to be.
When I get asked to write a speech about Derek and Down syndrome, I always say, my brother is 27 years old. He loves wrestling. He loves barbecue sauce. He does not like to go on long walks. He does like the Disney Channel. He does like to sing. He likes to dance. And he has Down syndrome. Yeah. There are so many other things that make you than just your diagnosis. And I think that's what the point you were trying to make. And I think that's a really awesome point. And I think in addition to representing Down syndrome in that way and showing people that people with Down syndrome are so much more than just their diagnosis, I think the other thing that being on social media and people with Down syndrome being represented in movies like Champion and those types of things is, and I know we've talked about this before, but there was the comment, the woman, I think she was from Ireland.
South Africa.
Oh, South Africa. Okay. I knew Mom would know. Mom will never forget.
Never forget.
This was back in 2020, right when we first started on social media, and this woman from South Africa commented on one of our videos and told us that had she found out a baby she was carrying had Down syndrome before finding our channel, her first response would have been to abort that baby. And after finding Derek and falling in love with Derek and falling in love with our family and following along with us, she said that, you know, we have taught her so much, and that she felt a little bit ashamed that that's the way she felt. And she was like, that's not the way I feel anymore. And I would not do that, because I know, based on seeing a family like yours, that it would be okay. And I think that's where representation is really, really important. It's
Absolutely.
important to show people who don't have a connection to somebody with Down syndrome what life with Down syndrome really looks like. Because at first, it is scary.
It is scary.
And it's okay that it's scary. But when you're 27 years in, it's hilarious. And it's the best hugs in the world. And
you wouldn't change it
Liv
for
Morgan.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Just ask her. Ask Liv.
Yep.
It's great. And you're right. Our family would not be
and
who
Logan
we
Taylor.
are.
Let's never get him.
You are ruining my moment, Derek. I am speaking so kindly about you, and you're talking about Liv Morgan and Logan Paul, who, by the way, they had their baby. Logan Paul's a dad.
Aw, congratulations,
Oh,
Logan.
yeah, I did make a video for that one, actually.
Okay.
Proud of it.
But yeah, I just think that to have more people with Down syndrome, with other disabilities, in the public eye, where other people can see them, and that fear can be taken away a little bit, is what is really, really, really important. So that's what Down Syndrome Awareness Month is all about to me. And that's why I wanted to make sure that our first episode in October highlights that in some way. So with that being said, it is time to wrap it up. Let's hear your big idea, and then we have to say goodbye.
Well, we did have a great conversation about Down syndrome. I think it's a good idea to talk to our friends in wrestling.
No way he wants to do something with wrestling. That is so crazy.
Friends of wrestling. To talk to them, like Bianca Belair, Dominic, Liv, Rhea, something like that. To
Let them tell you how cool you are.
Yes.
to talk about Down syndrome with them.
Okay,
Cool.
all right. We do have a big weekend coming up.
We do, but this
But
is going to
this
be out
is gonna
before
come out after it's over.
afterward. Yeah, we talked about it on the top 10.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have time for today. Like, share, subscribe. Find us on all the platforms at Baker Banter. Find our new merch on bakerbanter.com. This political season's going to be a little wonky, but if you need some good, lighthearted fun, you want to make some people laugh, you need a Derek Baker and the Bobcat or a Derek Baker and the Cicada shirt. So find it on bakerbanter.com. If you need some spooky season merch, I do have some new Halloween stuff on my Etsy store. It is JBJ Creative. You can also find it at the link in our bios. And we will talk to you on Thursday. We're going to have a big weekly wrestling wrap up this week, because we are going to Monday Night Raw and NXT 2 nights in a row next week. This week, when you're hearing this, in St. Louis. Derek is so excited. Lucky boy. They are bringing 2 shows in a row to St. Louis, Missouri. How lucky are you? All right. That's all we have time for today.
I get with you, Live It Up, and my girl, Roxanne Perez. That being said, we'll see you next time.
I can't wait to
Peace.
yeet.
Yeet.